Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the quickest way to lose money on Amazon. This is something that you want to avoid at all costs. This is pretty much the downfall of everyone who attempts it and then loses a lot of their momentum, loses a lot of their faith in the business. And it's really just one thing that you're doing wrong and it's not exactly your fault. So we're going to be getting into that today. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. Stick around till the end so you pick up all that info. But other than that, guys, let's get right into it. The biggest thing that you want to avoid is pretty much doing what almost everyone thinks you should do and what most people are going to tell you to do. Now, it's getting better because I think over the years we've started to understand that branding is important and having a high quality product is important, but nothing is going to make your Amazon FBA business go downhill quicker than when you just take a product from Alibaba, maybe these things here, and list them on Amazon. And then you use these photos, right? I'm not going to pay for photography just yet. I really want to get a feel for it. You know how many times I've heard, I just want to get a feel for it. I'm okay with losing money. What? Why? That's like saying, I'm going to jump off the ship and I just want to get a feel for swimming. I don't care if I drowned. It's like, no, start the right way. Like, don't put yourself in a bad situation on purpose. Do all the right steps. Okay, I'm going to go into the shallow end. And this is a weird example because most people probably know how to swim, but you know what I'm saying? Like, get used to it first and do the right steps and then move on to what you're supposed to do when the time is right. And most people just jump into the deep end with Amazon and try and compete with big brands and go to these big revenue categories and they don't understand why it's not working and oh, the business model sucks. Amazon FBA is fake. It doesn't work anymore. It's too saturated. That's just not true. And it's your fault, but it's also kind of not your fault because it's the people that are giving the information. The information's wrong. There's a lot of just like stuff that's wrong. Okay, and so that's why we need to kind of set up clear boundaries of what we need to kick to the side and what doesn't work anymore. And unless we get a time machine and can go back to 2014, even 2016 or 17, taking this product and just putting it on Amazon doesn't work, okay? There needs to be some element of you being a brand operator. And if you're not a brand operator, you need to have a business partner who's an operator and you need to be more on the creative scaling side of things and direction of the brand and packaging. And someone needs to be putting in the work to create an actualized product that separates you from your competition. So if we were to look up whiskey bullets, we're going to see a couple things happen, right? Now this is a market I've known about for quite a long time. Well, there's the product, first of all. So kind of funny, right? We already kind of found the product. Now look at what some of the best people in the space are doing. Who's number one organically? And we have this like ammo crate, rustic ammo crate, a beautiful main image showing off what the product is being used for. White background, showing off the packaging. You know what to expect. Not 4.5 stars, 5 stars all around. Do you think they took this straight from Alibaba and it was already made like this? Mixology and Craft whiskey bullets on this little wooden crate and they just sent it in? No, well, what do we notice? They're actually the same bullets, okay? There's really nothing that different there. But what did they spend the time to do? They spent the time and they got amazing photography done, right? So the packaging is custom there. It's actually double packaging, right? It's like customized cardboard box and then on the inside you get this little wooden ammo crate. So that gives someone something to store these in. So now you're actually adding a new value proposition. I guess you could put them in the freezer like that, right? In this little wooden crate. Amazing photography. Photography is awesome. Come through here. Good copywriting. This is kind of stupid, right? So redundancy here. I don't understand that. For a brand that's operating at this level, I thought that would have been fixed by now. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm looking at this listing. I didn't plan this. 432 positive ratings. You don't get that kind of acceptance from the market when you just take something like this and you throw it up. The days of taking a listing and throwing it up on Amazon pretty much over. So it's not that the product is bad. It's selling the same exact product with slightly different packaging. And that's really the name of the game now. So what you want to do, guys, is spend time on that packaging and branding. People get so overwhelmed when they start hearing about branding because they think of the back end stuff that's necessary, like, oh, I have to start a company and I have to trademark my brand. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Don't even go there yet, okay? Just start thinking about branding in a new, modern way. How does this product sit with the target audience? If you could just think that way on every product you launch, you're going to be so much farther ahead of what most sellers are doing. And people are worried about, like, a big question I get is like, what about sellers from China making Amazon US saturated, and what is that doing? And well, first of all, a lot of, whether it's a manufacturer from China that sells on Amazon, which is usually more rare than individuals like you and I from China who are just normal entrepreneurs trying to sell on Amazon, if that's really what you're worried about, that game is more of a list a lot of products and hope some of them stick. It's not a high quality branding game. Modern entrepreneurship isn't just about analyzing all of the possible options and just trying everything. I think it's more about being really refined and really good. Good's not a great word. Being really refined and really productive at getting your message across. I think if you can be a really strong communicator with your branding to that target audience, what would that target audience want communicated to them about the product that you're selling to them before they go ahead and purchase it? You start thinking in that way, where it's not just about, let me look at numbers and reviews. If it makes sense, if it's low competition, I'm going to throw up a bunch of listings and test a ton of stuff with low quality photography, low quality copywriting, and then whatever sticks, I'm going to double down on. Instead of that approach, start the other way around. Say, I'm going to start with amazing photography, amazing branding, amazing packaging. Bring a product to market in a space where the current competitors don't care about branding and all they care about is sales, low price, same images as Alibaba, bad copywriting, bad branding, logo doesn't read true to the product, value proposition isn't there. All of those things, like, start comparing yourself. In a lot of ways, you want to say you don't compare yourself to your competitors. I wouldn't. Start comparing yourself to your customers. How closely can you weave into their world and start figuring out what they want and then present that to them? A lot of the times, the product's already figured out because the product is selling. Stop thinking about differentiating the product. I'm so sick of, like, how do I differentiate my product? Yeah, a unique product identifier is great. That's just a standard. It's necessary. Where you really set yourself aside is, how do you present it? How do you package it? And how do you sell it? Everyone knows that the same product sold by a poor salesman and a great salesman, the customer is going to have a different attachment to that product depending on who sold it to them. Okay? It's often not the product. It could be something like this, a screwdriver. But when I create a storyline about how this screwdriver is going to make you more effective and change the way that you work, all of the sudden this now has more meaning than just a screwdriver. It has the meaning of, oh, I could do that project that I've been wanting to do. Oh, I have been slacking off there. That's the tool that I need, and that's why I've been slacking off. Versus just, this is a cheap screwdriver, and that's the end of the story. The product is not going to sell itself. The branding will sell the product. So that's really it for today. I guess I could have done with less screen sharing here because it was mostly just me talking, but hopefully that was a good visual representation of all of the things that I was talking about. And hopefully that carries you towards the right path. So biggest thing to avoid, basically arbitraging stuff from Alibaba to Amazon, no matter how good the market is. That's not the path. What is the solution? Start thinking about branding in the packaging that the product comes in and the representation. So sick of, this is what I was saying, when people are misleading you. Test things, small orders. You don't have to just send it in a brown box first. No, don't set the standard there. First product, set the standard as if you're already on your 20th product. You've perfected the process. You spend a detailed, you spend an amount of time on a detailed set of criteria that you build your packaging off of. And every packaging should be different based on what the product is and who it's for. And the main image should be different based on who it's for and all of those different things. So start thinking in that way. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you need some help with some advanced branding for Amazon FBA, Savage University is a great place to start and end. It's really a community of sellers that are getting together to push Amazon FBA to a new level, really build brands that sell on Amazon, not just how to sell on Amazon. So that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Later.